For more on this, let's bring in former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf. Great to have you. I want to show you a couple of numbers here. So CBP, Customs and Border Patrol, had 1,763 unaccompanied migrant children in its custody as of Tuesday, 625 of whom had been held more than 72 hours. I think that's going to be another issue, right? Because this issue of how long you can hold them is going to come up.
Well, absolutely. I think the numbers across the border, whether it's single adults, whether it's families or UACs, are up across the board. And particularly UACs are troubling because you can't release them. You can't do the catch and release like you can with the family units and the single adults that we see that the Biden administration is doing. So what does that mean? You have to hold them in Border Patrol facilities, and then you have to hold them in HHS facilities. And what happens when you have so many is it starts to back up, and I think that's what we're seeing now. And so you're seeing kids held for longer than 72 hours, which is really the top limit of how long they should be held in Border Patrol facilities, which are essentially jail-like settings. You need to get them to HHS so that they have a more appropriate setting, but at the end of the day, you need to send the right message, and the wrong message is currently being sent to the traffickers, the smugglers, and others. That now is not the time to come. There is a time to come, it's just not now. And that message is too nuanced. They're not going to get it, and you're seeing the numbers just increase across the board.
Yeah, Dana mentioned that some of them are wearing T-shirts. That's an extraordinary thing, is it not? Have you seen that before? They're wearing T-shirts, let us in?
I have not, and I think what it tells you is that the advocacy community, there are NGOs and others, that their entire goal is to make sure that anyone that shows up at the border gets into the United States and is able to stay perhaps for years and years, regardless of whether they actually have a legitimate asylum claim or not. And I'm sure that these types of organizations are providing these T-shirts to these folks, trying to send a political message and trying to play politics with the safety and the security of that border.
I'm really interested in the cartel angle and what we do there. There's a sheriff in Arizona named Mark Daniels. He's in Cochise County, and he said, "We just built roads for the cartels." Think about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Sheriff Daniels pretty well, and a lot of the law enforcement community along that border are seeing firsthand the results of what we have seen over the past 4 or 5 weeks. And they are going to be the ones that are going to have to deal with the increase in illegal apprehensions, the public safety risk, and everything else that goes on in those communities. And you see that when Border Patrol is overwhelmed, state and local law enforcement are going to have to step up. But I think it's important to note, there's not one individual that is smuggled across that border or comes across that border illegally that's not paying a cartel, a trafficker, or a smuggler to do that. And so essentially the Biden administration is fueling more and more cartels, making them more profitable, because each and every person that they send across that border is money in their pocket.
Wow, that's an extraordinary thing to say. The administration will not call this a crisis yet. Maybe that changes. What would you call it?
Oh, it's absolutely a crisis. I mean, when you start building tent facilities, HHS facilities, and DHS is certainly looking at facilities. DHS is redeploying officers from the northern border to the southern border. You have comments about they're working 24/7. All indications is it's a crisis. Everyone knows it's a crisis. They need to be honest with the American people. And certainly those communities along those borders are experiencing an influx of individuals that are likely going to reach historic proportions in the next several months.
All right, Chad Wolf, always good to have you as we continue to follow this story. We'll be on top of it.
Thank you, sir.